I got Seco on the boards.
Yeah, I'm on a roll. Yeah, no burrito, I'ma get this dough. They be like, there he go, with that flow.
Welcome back to the Young Entrepreneurs Podcast, where a high schooler can learn to turn their passion into a business. Before we get into today's episode, I have to let you guys know we have a special guest co-hosting, filling in for Akash, who could not be here today. His name is Andrew, and he is a friend of ours from our school.
What's up? I'm Andrew. It's an honor to be co-hosting the Young Entrepreneurs Podcast.
So today we have one of the hardest hustlers in all of the 412. His name is Ray Watsula, and he is an extremely talented young and upcoming rapper. Surprisingly, that is a side hustle of his, at least for now. He also works another 9 to 5. My guy Ray also dabbles in some of the modeling here and there.
Per usual, there will be 3 main takeaways from this episode.
First and foremost being what it's like having a side hustle.
Secondly, what the journey of an aspiring musician is like.
And lastly, how to build a personal brand.
Ray, it's an honor to have you on. Let's start the show.
Hey, it's an honor to be here, guys.
Thank you. So, first question. Let's start off by having you tell our audience a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Well, my name's Ray. Sometimes I go by Sugar Ray if I'm behind the mic. But yeah, basically I'm 26, 27 years old. I live in Pittsburgh. I work in banking right now. That's like my daytime hustle. But like the guys have mentioned, I do dabble in some music. I got 4 or 5 mixtape albums released over the course of the past 8 years, pretty much. Mostly hip hop. Now I'm trying to dabble in like a new wave R&B type vibes. Some lo-fi. Working on just building my studio right now. I'm trying to get into real estate. My cousin out in Harrisburg, he's hustling right now. He's working on his 3rd piece of property. Shout out my cousin Yanni. Just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, basically, I wake up, go to work, come back, maybe write some rhymes, record a little bit. I like to get into modeling and acting too. Whenever my agent has some work for me with that. But yeah, basically just try to create some streamline, some income streams. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And before we get to the next question, guys, make sure to check him out. We'll link everything in the description of this podcast.
Okay. Ray, how did you first get into music, and when did you know that it would be a passion of yours?
Well, I like to think that I got into music when I was real young. I actually started listening to country, old school Hank Williams. I don't know if anyone listening knows about him, but tragically, we lost him at such a young age. He was like 28 when he died back in the 50s, but used to listen to him in the truck with my grandfather as we would drive to and from his work when I was growing up, and I would start to memorize the lyrics with that. And then I got into rock, your classic Nirvana and new school kind of punk grunge like Blink, obviously, some Offspring, some 41, and then I developed a nice little relationship with a couple other guys in my hometown back in South Jersey where I grew up, and we started a band called Breaking and Entering, and that was pretty cool, man. We had a couple gigs lined up here and there. We'd perform at parties and stuff. I would just sing, try to learn the guitar, but I don't know, man. It just wasn't really a big interest of mine at the time, but yeah. That lasted for about a year with the rock band, and then kind of just like got into, more hip hop. I think in like the early, 2008, 2009. I think everyone was kind of listening to that Lil Wayne. That's when Young Money was flourishing. Some old Jeezy, some old Jadakiss, and actually some Kanye. He's a big influence of mine too. But yeah, that kind of got me into the whole rhyming and having that dope melody, having that because I think what it is as society, like we're always interested in what's fresh and what's new. And I think hip hop is what's new right now. Just like rock was what was new back in like the 60s and 70s and 80s. I mean, kind of just evolves, but yeah, music's always just been a part of my life.
Right. So, as we've mentioned a couple times, you work a day job and your side hustle. So what's that like? Like working your day job and then having to also go ahead and hustle on the side?
Yeah, man, it's tough. You know, spend like 8-9 hours a day staring at a computer screen kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of doing the same boring job day in and day out, and kind of paycheck to paycheck. You know, you always wish you could make more money, obviously. But at least I have a great team out there. I'm at BNY Mellon, you know, doing some global ops, just you know, dealing with like foreign and domestic accounts and reconciliation and stuff like that. But, you know, I have a flexible schedule. I can work from home. You know, I can just bust out the laptop right now. You know, I do a little bit of traveling, so that's always cool. But, yeah, then, you know, sometimes I clock in at, you know, 8:30 a.m., take a lunch. Maybe I eat my lunch at my desk, and then I clock out at like 4:35. And sometimes I'm just going straight to the studio. Right. Sometimes I'm going straight to just maybe the gym. You know, I like to work out, like to stay active. But yeah, man, it's tough though. You know, sometimes and nothing a little extracurriculars won't cure. You know, maybe a couple drinks at happy hour, and you know, you're in the studio, and you made yourself a banger before you even knew it. So it's just one of those things, man.
Yeah, it's part of the grind.
Yeah. But it pays off, man, you know.
Definitely.
And if it was easy, everyone would do it. You know what I mean? I like to compare it to abs, you know. Like, if it was easy, everyone would have a six-pack, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But, you know, sometimes hustle requires dedication.
Of course.
Sometimes it requires perseverance. But, you know, I look at my dad, you know, he's a millionaire. I look at a lot of my family members, you know, they're successful, and it's because, you know, steps taken as a young adult, you know, has just exponential and positive impact, you know, going later strides in life.
Of course.
What inspires the music that you write?
That's a good question. So I think I just go in like waves, whatever I'm in the mood. Like, you know, if I'm getting lit in the studio, got a nice little party going on or something, then maybe I'm writing some more happy and hype vibes, you know, like, but then other days, you know, I'm in my bag and I'm a little sad, and like, you know, maybe I want to write that next like Drake love song, you know, I don't know, but I don't know. It's basically whatever mood I'm in. And then, right. I mean, when it comes to lyrics, like honestly, like the past 4 releases, Funky Features Volume 1, all of Hiatus, pretty much all of Graduated. Like, that was just all freestyles, just like off the dome. And so I don't really even write anymore. The first mixtape I ever wrote, the only one I ever wrote was, you know, Great Things Might Happen. And I released that when I was freshman in college. Wrote that the summer after I graduated high school. And yeah, that was the only time I really sat down and went like, you know, intro, verse, hook, bridge, verse 2, hook, bridge, outro, and kept it all like, you know, just uniform and synonymous throughout. But now it's just like, I'll go in there, maybe I'll start with the hook, maybe I'll start with the bridge. It really just like, that's how I like having that, like leaving that no ceiling kind of mentality, because you're not putting yourself in a box and you're not limiting your creative abilities. You know what I mean? Of
course. Yeah. And that takes a lot of talent, because a lot of rappers these days have, I guess, what it's called, ghostwriters. So being able to go off the dome is talent. So
yeah. And you know, so that's good thing you brought up ghostwriting, because I want to throw like a little 2 cents in on that. So like, I think there's definitely like different ways to look at that. You know, for one, like, I think when you have like someone like, maybe, let's say for example, J. Cole spitting a Nas reference, you know, that's not really like, you might think it's biting at his bar or whatever, but You know, sometimes it's paying homage. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But also another thing is like, you know, your Beyoncé's, your Jay-Z's, your Justin Bieber's, your big time artists nowadays, you know, they have like 10, 20 different writers
Mm-hmm.
and A&Rs on their work. And, you know, not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it does require like a team effort.
Of course.
You know, that's why Beyonce is what she is. That's why, you know, Justin Bieber is what he is. I mean, you know, it's because of ghostwriting, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think maybe so, you know, in some arguments with, I think, you know, hinting at the Drake and Quentin beef, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that was like an instance possibly where Drake may have used, you know, lyrical content that he
Mm-hmm.
didn't necessarily pay for, or, you know, in some way credit
Right.
Quentin. In that instance, and yeah, ghostwriting it can be bad, or it can
Mm-hmm.
be, it can have negative impacts. You know what I mean?
Of course. So, this is like more of just a free flowing question, but like when you first got into music in Pittsburgh, how did you go about meeting like people that you work with, like for your beats, and then other rappers in the area?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, you know, social media was pretty big. Instagram, Facebook. It was kind of funny though. So like Instagram, you would find them by their stage name, and then Facebook
Yeah.
would be like their real government name, and it's just kind of funny, like
Yeah.
finding people on like both sides of their persona. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But no, yes, I mean, so I like to think that I was like more, you know, extroverted. I always was, you know, I mean, I did a whole tape called Funky Features, Volume 1. So I'm letting people know that there's going to be a Volume 2, a Volume 3, a Volume 4, like, and strictly just working with people. Like every song is a collab with at least one other person. I got songs with like 4 other people, you know, like that Alive with, you know, Jay Lamont, C Supreme, Mike Tom. I mean, like everyone was just killing that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's just nice coming together, and making a good song like that. But, you know, sometimes I'd outreach, sometimes people would come to me. I think it all just kind of depended. I think when they see that you got a lot going on, then maybe they, you know, outreach a little bit more. But, you know, I think everyone just kind of in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's weird though. Pittsburgh's a weird city to kind of talk about, because I know that the following is very loyal, but it's very sporadic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I like to think I've amassed like a decent following, but then, you know, there are people who will never, you know, follow me or like my music, and I think that Pittsburgh, it might just be a little bit more tougher than other cities with that aspect.
Yeah.
What are your future plans for your music and personal brand?
Well, you know, so right now, I'm trying to save up some money, get into real estate, get the studio off the ground, learn how to record, then learn how to produce and engineer my own sessions. But like, yeah, I mean, I think in about the next 6 months, 8 months, I think I can get the studio off the ground. But I really don't even envision myself releasing any content for at least another year. I know I said a lot of things. I was dropping a single every week this year, but a lot of I ended up getting sick like 3 weeks in, and I wasn't able to record for like a month. And then, you know, I'm actually in the process of moving out of my current place. I'm right near the airport right now, but I'm moving back into downtown Pittsburgh, trying to locate, you know, the best spot down there. I think I might close in on this nice little studio 1-bedroom with the rooftop pool, man.
That's
you know, I'm gonna have you gotta come visit, cuz you guys gotta come visit, man.
Of course.
We'll do another podcast on
the rooftop pool.
But no, seriously, like, so I don't know. I got a lot going on. Like I said, I'm moving out into a new spot, and it's going to be a little bit more pricier, so I got to budget my money a little bit better. But I got this lawsuit going on, you know, with that car accident, and it's looking like it's closing. You know, Harry, my attorney, he's he's working, he's dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and handling everything. And, you know, my depot for that is actually in like 3 weeks. We can expect some sort of you know, windfall,
Right.
you know, which I'm going to use to, you know, get into real estate. And I urge everyone, you know, real estate's kind of a risky move, but it's definitely the American dream. It's definitely possible, and it's just passive income that just works for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Passive income that just works for you. So, you know, I think I'm gonna drop like an R&B type album in another year though.
Right.
And I'm not trying to rush it, but I just don't want people to know, or think that I'm done. You know, I'm never gonna be done.
Yeah.
Never gonna be done. Honestly, I'm going to be 75, 80 years old. I'm going to have a studio in my bedroom. I'm going to have a studio. No, I'm serious. I'm going to have a studio in my bedroom. I'm going to record it like 2 a.m. if I want. Like, it's just, I'm never going to stop. But
and I think to go on the hiatus for a little while, put in Only God Knows is that last song there. It's a banger. So I think that's a good song to leave people with.
Yeah, no, that did come out good. That song came out good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So if you were to give one piece of advice to a young artist that is too scared to start releasing their music, what would that piece of advice be?
Oh, never be scared. I mean, look, let's be real. I'm not going to condone bad music because I know that that's out there. But if you truly believe that you have something that you know, put your heart and your mind and your soul into, and you think it's going to have a positive and profound impact on not only Pittsburgh but the world, then yeah, throw that out there, and don't wait to drop anything either. Like, don't say, hey, like, don't do a countdown. That was the past. Like, if you have something, just drop it now.
Of course,
you know, just drop it now.
That's a good piece of advice.
All right, that about wraps this episode up. Ray, why don't you tell our audience where they can find you on all your different platforms?
Cool. Yeah. No. So you can pretty much find me everywhere. I wish I had a stronger YouTube presence, but I do have a music video out there. If you search Sugar Ray, SUGA space RAY, Funky Features, or Funky Fresh. I think the music video comes up with that. You might have to type in my homie Brock's name. Shout out Brock. He's still doing his thing. But yeah, so SoundCloud, I think you just have to type in Sugar Ray. And I pop up. I might have like the star next to my name. And let's see. I don't have a Twitter. I think I'm gonna get Twitter back again. Facebook, I think I got a page, Sugar Ray. Instagram is Ray vs Ray. That's RAYVSRAY. That's kind of the thing I was going through because I feel like, you know, I have my work mode, I have my studio mode, and it's like I feel like sometimes I verse myself. But yeah, I was actually going to change my name to Ray vs Ray. And a couple people said they liked it, but a couple people, they're just, you know, just stick with Ray.
Stay with the OG name.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but hey man, I appreciate you guys having me.
Of course.
You know, I'm gonna let you guys know on any releases I got going on, anything new with my brand or my businesses. And I'm sure we'll keep in touch, guys.
Yeah, 100%. So, guys, make sure to check him out. And yeah, like we said, it was a pleasure having you on. We hope you continue your hustle.
Pleasure to be here, man. Hey, take care. Have a good rest of your weekends.
You too. That was Ray Watsula on what it's like to have a side hustle as a musician.
You can find him on Instagram and SoundCloud.
And you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please make sure to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages because we have a lot of cool stuff coming to you guys. So until next week, hope you enjoyed. And stay tuned.
I'ma keep doing this, using my teeth and I'm chewing this. Flies me to beat, but I ruined it. Cause I got something to prove in this. Found a reason to rhyme, and Pittsburgh influenced it on how I make my music. And now I got you all grooved.